Hello? I can't hear you, Claire.
Hello, hello. Um, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you
Claire?
now? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, where
No.
were you?
I was saying hello and then I unmuted myself and then I realized. But anyway, we can hear each other now, so that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I just sent you the story on what would happen if there was no idolatry. We've made so many pamphlets. Okay, let me see. All the pamphlets I've sent you. I mean, well, we made so many pamphlets before, but I have about, I would say, wait.
Probably have 60 or 70 now.
Well, no, out of this new batch that we've been doing, this American batch, I have like another 16, 17 I have to post on top of whatever we're going to make today.
But weren't you pleased that that Joe and
Who's Joe?
well, oh he was the one who said that it was
What?
entertaining.
Who's
Joe was the
Joe?
one who commented in our stream yesterday that he found it entertaining and he hates me and never praises me, but this was the first time, I think. And he
Okay.
said he found Carol entertaining.
And who else did you say had read them?
Well, I mean that's a problem. It's like when you make them read it, they find it funny. But I suspect that nobody even reads it. It's like, oh, I'll read it
No, but people
later.
are reading
Forget.
it. I can see people reading it, and like it's not a lot, Claire. But first of all, these are way underreported because I know that like it's probably like 10 times this what it's seeing. But okay, so it says yesterday 65 people saw it. That's what it says. But that's way underreported. That's like I would say maybe let's say 100 people saw it.
Hmm. Okay,
That's
so you're optimistic about um. Okay, I mean, okay,
I'm
I'm not
optimistic.
really getting any feedback.
I'm optimistic about viewers because I mean I can see them. Hold on, I'm gonna see where people are viewing your blog from. Mostly United States, a lot in the United Kingdom. Okay, it's like United States and United Kingdom are close. Netherlands, India, Ukraine, Indonesia, Canada, Russia,
Oh,
Australia, Australia. That's how. Those are your top one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. That's your top, eight, and then all the other 238 that have seen it are are all across the rest of the world. So little that, like, I mean, okay, so most in the United States, most in the United Kingdom. Right after that, lots, yeah. But India, you have some followers. Ukraine, Indonesia, which makes sense. It's Indonesia is Canada,
the
little
most
Russia,
populous. Yeah. Oh, good.
yeah,
I'm pleased about Russia.
Australia. So that's where, yeah. I mean, not a lot, Claire, but those are your top 10.
Sorry, this is your blog or my blog?
My
This is your
blog.
blog, right? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it rings a bell for me on my blogs on Blogspot. So, yeah, okay, well, that's good. Okay, I guess I'm saying they're not in a hurry to give us feedback, or maybe it's because it's such an alien idea that they're kind of waiting for somebody else to do it.
Okay, how about this, Claire? Since we started making these pamphlets, you've had 1,364 views on them. How does that sound?
Whoa, whoa.
Does that
It's really
sound
good,
good?
isn't it?
No, I
Yes.
mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm hard on myself with when it comes to views. Like, I get like upset, what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what you're used to, but 1,364 views is not nothing since you
Yeah,
started.
actually, that's good. That's good. I suppose that they're not in a hurry to give us feedback, and I keep saying, "Have you read it? If you ever do, can you, And it's always silent, silent, no
Yeah,
comment.
well, uh, yeah, maybe they're scared of its power, or maybe they're scared. I don't know, or I don't know why they wouldn't why they wouldn't respond. I mean, they usually generally like to trash you, right?
Yeah. So okay. So the optimistic interpretation is they're so scared of it they dare not say anything in case it encourages us. Do you think that's a reason?
It could be. Maybe maybe they just don't, you know.
Shh! Don't talk about it. Just ignore it, and maybe it will go away. But Carol enjoyed herself. I mean, I got the impression that she didn't like a whole bunch of the ideas, but you know she she found a concubine contract.
You read it to
Useful.
her. You read it to her.
Yes, yes. Because I was going to read her the registry of religion, register of religions. And she didn't want it because she knew it would upset her. So, and then she chose a boring one of the Constitution, which is quite technical. But she liked the concubine contract. Yeah, and she was
Oh,
laughing
so you've been
away
you've
at the
been
A, B,
using
and
you've been
B
using
plus
these
schools.
you've been using these pamphlets to polemicize your position.
Yeah, because it's like, such and such a person would be interested in concubine contracts or would be horrified or, whatever. So, so I direct them to it. And okay, I do have a Jewish friend, and it's like they're not saying anything about, the heretical Jews and the Orthodox, the observant Jews thing. And the thing is, okay, I am convinced that the religious Jews, the Haredim, would be delighted at my suggestions. Put the secular Jews on a different list, on the Hilonim list. And it's like, yes, yes, we've been wanting to do that for centuries, but we didn't dare. And that's why we have to take, us, the bad rap that they get, or the hatred from the Gentiles because it's these Jews who are not even religious doing all kinds of things, making Gentiles hate them and hate all of Jewry. Um, and sometimes they sort of think, well, maybe we should do something about it. But what can we do? What can we do about them? Because, we have no power. Everybody laughs at us. And if they don't like what we say, they'll just open a shul, a few doors down from ours, or just merge into, the Gentile community. Um, I guess Catholics have that problem too. It's like, oh well, we'll excommunicate you, but they don't care that they're being excommunicated, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, I know.
if
Yeah,
you're pissed
no,
off,
this is the thing, Claire, that you're gonna have a hard time because people are just gonna, not really listen to what you classify them as, and they're just gonna listen to themselves, and you know, yeah. I mean, I don't know because what was supposed to happen with my mother when she was searching for religion? Was she supposed to, register a new religion every time she switched her church? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she kind of went from church to church to church to church to church.
Mhm.
So what would she be if she was just church hopping?
Well, I mean, she can register herself when she thinks, right, I'm going to stay in this church, or that there'll be a kind of review, like, here are your details of your position on these various registers. Is this correct? If not, let us know. It's that kind of thing. So I guess your mother would now be, happily Jehovah's Witness, and won't feel like, becoming a Jewess or Muslim or whatever. So she's happy where she is. But I think when people convert, it's like, well, I want to be put on a different register to show that I really mean what I said. I'm not just saying, today I feel Christian, maybe tomorrow I feel Buddhist, you know. So it would also be a declaration of identity. And I also thought it was interesting what I don't know if I think you were there when Carol was saying, I hate this idea. It's none of the government's business to ask me, except in these rare circumstances when, if I joined the armed forces and died and they wanted to bring me back, how they should bring me back and, for whatever funeral rites I want. So, but then, she goes around calling herself white Muslim woman. So obviously her white identity is important, her Muslim identity is important, and her, female identity is also important. So I think, we just need, I think, for the sake of our own mental health and, to know where we stand in the world is to say, right, I'm male, I'm female, I'm, whatever color I am and whatever religion I am. And, if you haven't made up, okay, you'll be assigned a group anyway, either through your parents or, just by default. And then people can decide whether they want to be in that group or not. I think people will have fun with that idea. I mean, like for you, it's like secular paganism.
It's
Then
not a
you have to find,
religion.
yeah. So it's a legal system, but I think you're in my group, right? The atheist agnostic group.
Yeah, I'll be an agnostic. I can be in the agnostic group.
Yes. And of course, it's controversial because you may remember me mentioning to you why Tovia Singer was so angry with his fellow Jews in Indonesia when the Indonesian government, and because Indonesia is an empire, said, we've got all these, groups of people that we have categorized living in our empire, and Jews are too small to be worthy of their own group. So can they fit themselves either into the Christian group or the Muslim group? And they chose the Christian group. And obviously, Tovia Singer thought it was disgraceful and
Yeah.
blasphemous, probably. But yeah, I mean, obviously, who we want to be can become very controversial. Our parents might say, "What? I'm Jehovah's Witness, and what? How dare you change your religion?" That kind of thing. But it reminds me of this time when I was active on Facebook, really, really active on Facebook. I knew this guy, and 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 I actually met him, and then sort of, he. I knew he was a bit of a, what do you call it, a bit of a Romeo. So eventually he on Facebook you have a status single, it's complicated, married, whatever, and he didn't tell his children, and then he changed his status. And his children were really angry with him for not having informed them personally, and they only found out through Facebook. So he got into a bit of trouble with his children, who never
Yeah,
heard
my
of his goat.
my father, when I was like 11 or 12 years old, my father married a woman without ever even telling me. I didn't know. He just married her, and everyone knew but me. And yeah, and then maybe I wasn't that much long. Maybe I was 14, 15. I asked him, like, why didn't you ever tell me? Like, and he just said it's none of your business.
And he said it's none of your business.
Yeah, I said it was none of your business.
Well, but you see, the thing is, that's not strictly true because marriage is a public ceremony, right?
Well,
And
he just
even
didn't
births,
think he didn't think that I needed to know about it.
yeah, I understand. I mean, he was sort of, maybe not thinking properly of it. But I mean, if you
Yeah,
got
but no,
married,
did I
if
feel
you got
did
married,
I
he'd want to know, wouldn't he?
yeah, I felt a little bit slighted, like, everyone knew but me, and he just was making this major decision in his life, which is a major decision, and like, what am I going to do, not approve of it? Like, it's not like I wasn't, I would have had a choice, and I would never have like been like, oh, you can't marry her, I don't want you to marry her. But it would have been nice to at least have been informed and not have been told by accident secondhand by someone who didn't know I wasn't supposed to know. And
Hmm. Hmm.
like, that was odd. I thought was odd, but I don't know. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. I thought that was odd to get married and just not. I wasn't 2. I was 12, 11.
Hmm.
I might have
Well,
been told that, like, even if it was just like told, like, oh, I'm getting married, not even like, do you mind, do you care, like, maybe just like, you know what, I'm gonna get married and blah blah blah, just like, a little preparation, and then,
hmm.
but
Yeah.
no. And no, I didn't like that my stepsister knew, who's my same age, and I didn't like that.
Do you know why he told her but not you?
Yeah, I do. I think he liked her more. To be honest with you, she was my same age. It wasn't like I couldn't handle it and she could. It wasn't like she was so much older than me. She's 2 months older than me.
Was she living with him and you with your mother?
Hello?
Was it anything like that, or was your sister also living?
Hello?
Oh my God!
I can't hear you, Claire.
Hello,
Oh no, it's
hello.
not.
Well, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can't you hear me? Can't you hear me? Oh, Vincent, I can't leave. You've got to go and come back. Okay, I'm going to write in the private chat.
Camo, I mean, Claire.
Hello. Yes, can you hear me now? I can hear you. Please leave and return if
You can
you
hear me. I
still
can't hear you. Hold on.
cannot hear me. Maybe I have too many windows open or something. So I'll close a few. Well, nobody's here yet. Hi,
Hello?
Vincent. Hello,
Hold
can
on
you
one
hear me
second.
now?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, I couldn't hear
Hello.
you before. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. And you were talking about your sister. Was your sister living with you at the time? Your
No, my
your father.
stepsister. My step. No, 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 no. She wasn't. My stepsister was not living with me.
So she was living with your
No.
father.
No, she was living with her mother, who was my father's second wife, whom he had been divorced from at that period of time.
Oh, so when he married, this was his third marriage you're talking about.
Yeah. This was his third marriage. I gotta.
Uh, I suppose he's thinking, oh, I've got married so many times. Maybe he was just a bit embarrassed, saying, I'm getting married again. And I guess he felt he should tell your stepsister because she was kind of closer, to the thing than you. Because it's like, imagine if your mother was wife number one and your stepsister was wife number 99, and he wanted to get married to wife number 100. I guess he'd only tell the most you know proximate one before the 100th wife, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Can you
like
hear
hiding
me?
that you've been married so many times?
No, I'm saying, your father is clearly a much married man. And so I guess his mind was only on the most proximate people who might be interested in. So I was saying, it's like, because you were the offspring of his first wife, and he'd moved on so much further. Imagine if he was, if your stepsister was the child of his 99th wife, and he was about to marry the 100th wife. You kind of expect him to remember your stepsister, but not remember you because you were just further back.
Yeah, I understand further back. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it might not even have been, an intentional slide. It's like, well, I'm closer to my second wife than my first wife. I'm thinking of marrying my third wife.
Yeah. Or, yep. Yeah. Yeah, no,
It's
but
just a theory, but I think it fits.
yeah, so anyway, let's see if we're gonna write a pamphlet. Let's see what we're gonna write out. I'm always tired. I'm having coffee. Let's see. No, that's not where we are.
Story on secular. I don't even remember so many of these stories. It's like, did we do that? And then Vincent would say, oh, yes, we've done that one already, but it's not quite up yet. You know,
Hold on one second.
Well, okay, I've sent it to a few rabbis just to, I'm sure I'll just get a deafening silence, but, maybe they'll just sort of send it to each other and, complain, but not mention it. And I won't know what they say about it to each other. But if you listen to Rabbi Mizrahi, I mean, he's just saying, that it's the secular Jews who are the most terrible people, and that they're even worse than Christians because they ought to know better, and they are the most ignorant people in the world because they know nothing about their own religion, and they're so stupid that they don't know that if it were not for the religious Jews doing the whole, performing all the religious obligations of Judaism properly, then they would have no Jewish identity to uh, reload on, you know. And he says that the secular Jews in Israel are so dumb, because I'm saying, if it weren't for us, they'd be extinct within 2 generations. So why can't they leave, the Torah Jews alone to, learn their Torah instead of, destroying their afterlife by conscripting them into the IDF and making them work with female soldiers and getting these, and then corrupting them. And do we know how many abortions these female soldiers have? Isn't it terrible? Blah, blah, blah. you know.
Hmm.
So I think, my little idea will be very popular with the religious Jews.
Okay. Let me just see what you had sent me here.
Yeah, I've given you quite a few suggestions about that I've probably forgotten about. Um, I have to keep scrolling up.
Um, Register of Dissidents.
Let me run that idea by you, because I don't want people to think, oh, there'll be no dissidents, it's totalitarian and Orwellian and full of registers, and it's like, okay, if you don't like it, if you want to return to liberal democracy, you can come here and we'll give you a slot on the in the department for debate, of which you will be moderator. Yes, that's your job.
Okay, what else about the Register of Dissidents? Because that's redundant. If there's already a Department of Debate, the dissidents can go on the Department of Debate. But what else about the Registry of Dissidents? Because anyone can go into the Department of Debate under any complaint. So what else about them? Their register? What else about their registry happens?
Well, I mean, they would be the people who just, it's not just a matter of, changing the interpretation of this or that law. They want the whole system changed. They want a different system. They want monarchy. They want, liberal democracy, or whatever it is that they want, anarchy, whatever. So I think they should be on the register of dissidents. So it'll give them kind of identity. But of course they're not to if they want to declare themselves. Because I think it's important that, that was what I was trying to say to Carol. It's like, if you call yourself something, Jewish, Christian, whatever, you're basically saying, you're implicitly declaring that you are going to adhere to Christian, Jewish, whatever principles in order to claim the protection and privileges of that group. I mean, that's the whole point of it, right? And therefore, you should be made to defend those principles, because otherwise you're just a freeloader, right? You're not even Christian. You don't never go to church when you want to call yourself a Catholic. How dare you? Yeah, and you do that only because you think, oh, those Jews, those Muslims, they have a religion. I better get myself one. And but they would be declared heretics when the religion was working properly. In the time of the Crusades, which they
Okay. So what are we going? I have departments of debate and department of complaint. So we're going to say create a registry of dissidents that will report to the Department of Debate and the Department of Complaints. And what else?
To give them an outlet for their dissidence. I mean, for the purpose of showing them how stupid they are, and also to let them and let them feel that that they have a group of their own.
Okay. Using all the data you have so far on secular Koranism, write a detailed party pamphlet announcing the creation of the registry of dissidents that will facilitate dissident citizen complaints to the Department of Debate and Department of Complaints. They will be allowed to air their dissent on public television to show how stupid they are, but also allow them their freedom of speech and make them feel they have a proper outlet for their dissent. Using all the data you have so far in secular Koranism, write a detailed party pamphlet announcing the creation of the Registry of Dissidents that will facilitate dissident citizen complaints to the Department of Debate and Department of Complaints. They will be allowed to air their dissent in public television to show how stupid they are, but also allow their freedom of speech and make them feel they have a proper outlet for their dissent. How's that?
That's very good. Yeah, yeah, and that expresses it expresses it very well.
No.
Yes, we seem to have got two more good ideas for pamphlets and things.
What is that?
Well, I was thinking of completely dealing with angry Muslims, saying we want our Ramadan, and there's actually a verse in the Quran saying, "Don't worry if you can't do it, because if you're traveling or ill or on your period or something," and so the idea is that as long as you fast for a whole month, which is 29 to 30 days, you can break it up, and if you want to break it up, fast at the weekends when you're not inconveniencing your employers. So that's my plan for Ramadan under secular Koranism. So I was quite pleased with myself about that little idea. And then the other one was Christians trying to agree on a doctrine, on a definition of heresy. And I think that will be
okay. I've sent it.
okay. And I'm going to read Dissident. Below is a detailed party pamphlet for the Secular Koranist Party of America announcing the creation of the Registry of Dissidents, a new system to facilitate dissident citizen complaints through the Department of Debate, a Department of Complaints and Suggestions. The pamphlet outlines how dissidents will air their dissent on public television, allowing the state to highlight their perceived folly while ensuring freedom of speech and providing an outlet for their grievances. Announcing the Registry of Dissidents. Your voice, our stage. To the citizens of the United States, the Secular Koranist Party of America stands for Order, Reason and Progress under the Secular Koranist Constitution, effective March 10, 2025. We've transformed America. No usury, a 20% flat tax, socialized medicine, and a citizens' militia, building a disciplined society rooted in clear cause, agnostic vision. But we know not all agree. On March 10, 2025, we proudly announce the Registry of Dissidents, a new system to facilitate your complaints through our Department of Debate and Department of Complaints and Suggestions. You air your dissent on public television, showcasing your views, however misguided, while enjoying freedom of speech and a proper outlet. Here's how works and why it strengthens us all. What is the Registry of Dissidents? The Registry of Dissidents is a new addition to our state registry of races and religions, designed to track and manage citizens who dissent from secular Koranism's principles. It's not punishment, it's participation. Who qualifies? Any citizen. IC1 white, IC3 black, observant Jew, unaffiliated Christian, who openly opposes SKPA policies. For example, 100 lashes for unmarried parents, no usury one-party state. Purpose: to channel your dissent into the DFD and DCS, ensuring your voice is heard while maintaining order. Public platform. Dissidents will air their grievances on state television, live during DFD sessions, showing the world your folly, but also your freedom. This aligns with chapter 2, verse 256 of the Quran. There shall be no compulsion in religion. Extending to speech. Our 2028 utopia proves our system works, but we're not deaf. Dissent, even if stupid, gets a stage. How it works. Registration. Self-identify as a dissident at SKPA offices or be flagged by militia or social workers, for example, for repeated complaints against policies like the Jewish calendar or IC code assignments. Your registry profile updates, for example, IC1 white, unaffiliated Christian, dissident, tracking alongside religion and virtue, MP, RUP, UUP. Complaint process. File grievances with the DCS, lashes are cruel, one-party state's unfair, which forwards them to the DFD. DFD schedules live debates on state TV, dissidents versus SKPA reps, moderated by judicial committee members. Oh. Public airing. Your dissent broadcasts nationwide. For example, Hannah Green, Christian heretic, says miracles are parables. The public sees your arguments, often foolish, for example, rejecting no usury, 30% debt cut, but you're free to speak. Outcome. Debates inform policy, rarely changing it. Beyondism data drives us, but your outlet ensures transparency. Registry stats track distant outcomes, education, crime, guiding interventions, for example, mandatory volunteering work service for teens. Why this matters. Freedom of speech. Chapter 2, verse 256 of the Quran and our agnostic stance, no blasphemy penalties guarantee your right to dissent. Unlike Christian heresy, we don't silence. Your stupidity gets a spotlight. Orderly dissent. The one-party state or Washington's anti-factionalism avoids chaos. Dissidents on TV show we listen, but reason prevails. So, So anticipate heretical Jews will be upset over their labels. Public education. Broadcasting dissident educates. Your folly, for example, rejecting flat tax fairness, contrasts with our success. It's a lesson in data over dogma. Buddhism's lens. Registry stats. IC4 Asians lead education, observant Jews top cohesion, include dissidents. Your outcomes, higher crime, lower stability, prove our systems work. Global impact. As a secular Quranist caliphate, America leads 60% global adoption by 2040. The SKEU 2030 adopted this. Your dissent on TV inspires others. Addressing concerns. Some fear. Is it suppression? A blacklist? Here's the truth. Not suppression. You're free. Chapter 2, verse 256 of the Quran. No lashes for dissent, unlike unmarried parents. You're on TV, not in jail. Not a blacklist. Registry tracks, doesn't punish. IC codes, religions, virtue classes, MP, RUP, UUP, all do. Dissidents get A, B+, B schools like others. fairness, all can dissent. Observant Jews, Halonim, Muslims, Christians, file with DCS, TV's biased, and debate via DFT. We refine through reason. Join the dissent stage on March 10, 2025. The Registry of Dissidents launches. Register. Self-ID or be flagged at SKPA offices. Join the list. Speak. File with DCS. Your dissent hits DFT on state TV. Shine. Show your folly. Feel your freedom. America watches. Their core secular Koranism. Law, not faith, builds order. From harmony to the caliphate. Dissent proves our strength. Step up, speak out, and learn. For freedom, for order, for progress. Secular Koranist Party of America, March 10, 2025. Do you find that reassuring, Vincent?
Maybe.
I think it's fair enough.
You think so?
You're just gonna, thought police us and throw us in dungeons and, whatever, cancel us.
Hold on, I'm just watering and I'm going my birds and I'm going to give them a bath.
Mm-hmm. So, while you're doing things and thinking, I thought I would mention the real purpose of the registers, which is to basically reduce the number of secular Jews who, don't really deserve to be considered Jewish according to their own religion, and also for Christians who can't be bothered to even get themselves confirmed or baptized. I think there would be a huge difference in the numbers of reported Christians if the only people that you allow to be called to claim Christian identity are people who've been baptized or confirmed. And then then the biggest groups will basically be the self-identified Muslims and the atheists or agnostics, which would be our group, Vincent.
Atheists,
I think most, yeah.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. So, what's the next pamphlet we're gonna do? I'm just sorry, I'm just getting my bird's bath ready. What's the next pamphlet we're gonna do?
Well, I was thinking of doing the one on Ramadan because, well, this is the month of Ramadan. Let me check when it ends. When does Ramadan end? Because I anticipate objections from the Muslims. So we're planning for 30th March in 6 days, Sunday 30th March, and we're sort of planning for Education and Sharing Day. We'll have to think of something special. Hopefully, Carol will join us. So I know the Muslims will say, "Oh, hey, we want a Ramadan. We wanted an entire month of uninterrupted fasting," and we're saying, is going to be difficult. You're going to annoy your employers. And anyway, why don't you do it in your own time at the weekends? There are 52 weeks in the month, in the year. So that there are 52 weekends. Every weekend has 2 days. And they can fast at the weekend or when they're on holiday, if that's what they want to do. Then they needn't inconvenience the rest of the world with their fasting and their moaning and their groaning. What do you think? I mean, I don't want people to think Muslims are getting it all their own way, just because I'm adopting their, the principles of their holy book. And I don't think, people will say, oh, Jews are getting it all their own way. We're all, being controlled by the Jews. What do you think? Do you think that's fair enough? I mean, I don't want to be, thought of as, playing favourites.
Sure, we can. Let me just finish giving my birds their bath, and we can work on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, what was the other one? Oh, the other one I wanted to do was a short story, which I think will be fun, to do with Christians getting upset and trying to I think it would be quite fun to have a story of Christians trying but utterly failing to define heresy, and then they would be in fear of being approached by their non-Christian friends and family or colleagues who, want to be kept informed about the latest news on whether Christians have agreed on their definition of heresy. I mean, if you want to say, okay, we've got all these Christians in all their different churches, who's the most powerful? And then obviously I'm going to say, well, whoever has the most confirmed, baptized members will be deemed, the biggest church. But the interesting thing about the Orthodox Church is I don't think the Orthodox Church have a confirmation ceremony, because it's a sort of all-in-one ceremony, a once-and-for-all ceremony, which means that if you're a baby and you're baptized, you don't have to do, there's no confirmation ceremony. It's like you're an Orthodox Christian for life, and probably you're not allowed to argue about it. So it's like the Anabaptists, which Carol mentioned yesterday, and basically the Anabaptists were mocked for being the people who wanted to be baptized again. I don't know if we've discussed this, and basically they were burnt at the stake for daring to even ask for such a thing, and I can't prove it, but I think the confirmation ceremony is a way of satisfying their demands, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I want all these horrible, nasty bits of Christian history to be highlighted and generally understood, because I don't think people realize, how forced into, well, they were forcibly converted, basically. It was like, the Catholic Church would send out these Christian missionaries to go to, far-flung corners of Europe and find a barbarian king to convert to Christianity. And then the barbarian king would just destroy all the existing idols in his kingdom and tell his people that henceforth they're all Christians, and anyone who wants to argue about it will be burnt at the stake. I'm sure that was how it was really done in the olden days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll keep scrolling up in case there's anything else I missed.
Hold on, I'm just checking something.
Mm-hmm. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, no, I know. We have to see what's gonna happen now. Okay, so what's the next pamphlet?
Which one do you want to do?
I don't know. One I don't have to think that hard. Let's see.
Okay, so I found more ideas scrolling up from okay, let's. Okay, so tell a story about how delighted the Haredim were when they heard that the Hilonim were going to be categorized as heretical Jews under a subcategory of Judaism in the SK Register of Religions. What do you think of that?
Okay.
I mean, is that enough? Shall I just?
Using all the data you have on secular Koranism, write a story about religious Jews. How do you spell Haredim?
Haredim. Haredim.
Are so happy that non-religious Jews,
or the Hilonim, yeah.
Hillonim.
Hillonim.
Haredim are so happy that non-religious Jews are being put on the heretical Jew list on the registry of religions. Anything else? Anything to give it context?
I think that's enough. I can't think of any.
Using all the data you have so far in secular Koranism, write a story about religious Jews, Haredim, about how religious Jews, Haredim, are so happy that non-religious Jews, Hilonim, are being put on the heretical Jew list on the registry of religions.
Yes, I was trying to say that they wanted to be, because that is the only way for them to dissociate themselves from the, I'll have to spell these two words, CHILLUL. CHILLUL.
Okay.
Hilul Hashem, HASHEM.
A dash in between them or no?
No dash. And it means desecration of the name of God. You know, when they disgrace themselves and provoke hatred from Gentiles for the, you know, bad things they do. And it's sort of, you know, the religious Jews saying we always get the blame and we don't escape it because we dress like Jews and everybody knows we look like Jews and they take it out on us when it wasn't us, that kind of thing. It was them, the ones who look like Gentiles and have assimilated.
Using all the data you have so far on secular Koranism, write a story about how religious Jews, Haredim, are so happy that non-Jews, Hilonim, are being put on the heretical Jew list on the Registry of Religions. This is
Secular
the only
Jews, right? Hilonim is called. Do you say?
I said non-religious Jews.
Okay, I thought you said non-Jews. Okay.
Non-religious Jews are being put on their heretical list on the Registry of Religions. This is the only way the religious Jews can disassociate themselves from Cholol Hashem, desecrating the name, and the heretical Jews and prevent non-Jews from hating religious Jews for the wrongdoings of heretical Jews Hilonim.
Yes.
Okay.
You know that these Muslims can't even agree on when Ramadan begins. It's too silly for words.
Chooser.
Oh, good. I'm so happy you've got um, the latest one out about when Israeli Jews do secular Koranism.
Okay, I've sent it to you.
Thank you. Below is a detailed party story for the Secular Koranist Party of America set in the near future. near future America under secular Koranism, focusing on the Haredim, religious Jews who are delighted that non-religious Jews, Hilonim, are being classified on the heretical Jew list within the state registry of religions. The story explores how this separation allows the Haredim to dissociate from Hilul Hashem, desecrating the name of God, and protect their reputation from the perceived wrongdoings of Hilonim. Right. The Haredim's Redemption, a registry of righteousness. In the heart of Borough Park, Brooklyn, on a sunny Shabbat afternoon in May 2027, the Haredi community gathered in Rabbi Elihu Stern's modest synagogue, their black hats and long skirts a stark contrast to the bustling modernity outside. The air buzzed with rare joy, not from a Torah reading, but from the latest update of the Secular Koranist Party of America, America's State Registry of Religions. The SKPA, ruling since March 2025 under the secular Koranist constitution, had classified Jews into two lists: observant Jews, verified by an Orthodox rabbi, synagogue confirmed, and free of the Torah's 36 capital offenses, and heretical Jews, or Hilonim, self-identified Jews breaking those laws, like Sabbath desecration. For the Haredim, this was a godsend, literally. Rabbi Stern, an IC1 white observant Jew, stood before his congregation, his beard quivering with excitement. "Baruch Hashem," he exclaimed, clutching his registry card. "The SKPA has done what we could not. They've separated us from the Hilonim. No more Hilul Hashem. No more desecrating the name of Hashem because of their sins." The room erupted in murmurs of approval, women nodding behind the mechitza, men stroking their beards. I think it's mahitza. The Haredim had long felt burdened by the actions of their non-observant brethren. The Hilonim, those secular Jews, they break Shabbat, eat treif, chase modernity, said Miriam Goldstein, a 40-year-old mother of 8. Her voice low but fervent. "When they do wrong, cheat in business, act immodestly, non-Jews blame us. They think we're all the same. And it's Hilul Hashem. Now the registry shows the truth. We're observant. They're heretical." Her husband, Yosef, an IC1 white scholar, agreed. Last year, a Hiloni in Manhattan, self-identified Jew, got caught in a fraud scandal. My IC3 black neighbor, Jamal, asked if I'd cheat him too. I told him I'm Torah guided, no 36 capital offenses like Sabbath breaking, but he didn't believe me. Now the registry proves it. Hilonim are heretical, not us. The SKPA system, rooted in Claire Corr's agnostic vision, stripped the Quran of faith, enforcing laws like no usury, a 20% flat tax, and 100 lashes for unmarried parents. The Registry of Religions, tracking observant Jews, Hilonim, confirmed Christians, unaffiliated Christians, heretics, and self-identified Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists used beyondism to monitor outcomes. Observant Jews led in education and cohesion, while Hilonim lagged, often tied to higher crime rates. The split, announced in 2025, was a relief for the Haredim. At the synagogue, young Shmuel, a 22-year-old yeshiva student, beamed. "I'm on the observant list. My rabbi vouched. I'm synagogue confirmed. No capital offenses. We rank the Gentile religions, Islam 7 stars, Christianity 3 for Trinity idolatry, but no high clause. Now, non-Jews, no Hilonim, aren't us." His friend Chaim Hayim noted. My cousin Rebecca, she's Hiloni, works on Shabbat. She's upset, but I'm glad. No more Hillel Hashem. Non-Jews won't hate us for her ways. But not all were celebratory. Across town, Rebecca Stein, the Hiloni graphic designer from a prior story, fumed at a deli with her friends. Heretical Jew? I'm Jewish. I light a menorah, but I work Saturday, so I'm a heretic. The registry's a shanda. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to look it up. What does shanda mean? Shonday. Shonday, it's pronounced. Shonda? Okay. Is Yiddish for something scandalously shameful. Right. Her icy one white married parent status kept her kids in A schools, but the label stung. Non-Jews already side-eye us. Now they'll think Haredim are the real Jews and we're fakes. Back in Borough Park, Rabbi Stern addressed us at a community meeting. The Hilonim complain, but this is for our survival, he said. Before the SKPA, non-Jews saw their sins. Immodesty, fraud, and blamed us, thinking we're all Jews. Now the registry shows we're observant, Torah guided, no idolatry. They're heretical, unguided, like Christians with their Trinity. We're free of Hilul Hashem. Miriam added, the SKPA is fair. Chapter 2 has 256 of the Quran, no compulsion in religion. Hilonim can become observant, join a synagogue, keep Shabbat, or leave Judaism, be atheists, their choice. Yosef smiled. Our stats prove it. Beyond some data, observant Jews lead. Hilonim drag us down. Now, non-Jews like my IC6 Arab neighbor Aisha respect us, she says. You're not like those heretical Jews. The Haredim celebrated with a kiddush, non-alcoholic, per choice, not law, thanking the SKPA secular wisdom. The state TV aired their joy. Observant Jews praise registry. Hilonim on heretical list. The Department of Complaints and Suggestions buzzed with Hiloni gripes, but the Haredim didn't care. No more Hilul Hashem, Rabbi Stern whispered, sipping grape juice. We're pure. America sees it. In harmony, the Caliphate's light shone brighter. Order prevailed, and the Haredim stood tall, their name untarnished at last. You know, like?
Do you like it?
I thought you'd approve because you were the one who said you treat secular Jews like Gentiles.
I do.
Are you depressed now because I've dealt with all your issues and now you can't find anything to complain about?
No. Let's see. We can
You want to do another one or just chat?
well, let's see. Give me one second.
I've learned a new Hebrew word today, so I'm happy.
Not Hebrew, Yiddish.
Oh, Yiddish.
Um, yeah. So, yeah. No, but Claire, you have been getting some views, and you know,
Oh,
well,
we are creating, literally, this fantasy America that people can just sort of imagine.
okay. You have like 89, 88 pamphlets up.
Oh, wow. Wow, thank you, Vin. Thank you, Grok. It would be so
So
hard to do it. It would have been so hard to do it, on my own.
yeah, well, this is what, at least at least now there's, a key. You're showing people what to do.
Yeah, I mean, we've created a virtual America, and
Yeah.
thanks to Grok, because I was thinking how hard it would. I'm not really much of a novelist. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just, I think we're doing really quite well. And the thing is, even if people hate it, it stays in their minds, right? And the thing is, if you've got these groups, these religious groups, it's like, well, in a way, it's helpful that everybody's obsessed by Jews, right? Especially now, and obviously Jews would be obsessed about themselves, and then I think people will take an interest in spite of themselves. Yeah, I noticed Ray, he just can't say anything about it. He refuses to comment. But I'm sure he's seething.
Right. Well, well, I don't know. You're showing them, Claire. We'll see. At least, Grok can make sense of your world, so
Mm.
says something, and, you know, yeah, no, they're probably upset. Like, Grok is doing such a good job at making your party seem like a legitimate affair.
But also fun. I think it's like, it's like it would be fun to visit it for a day and see how the people are getting on and, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been getting some views. I'm looking at this.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Perhaps that there will be a way. I was thinking of ways of incorporating Carol into this.
An
This,
ex-secular Koranist.
yes. What can we do? She hates the registry idea, but well, she could be in the DFD, I suppose, arguing against it and saying, "I don't wanna. You can't make me." But I think, I mean, I think there is a certain justice in it because it's like, well, you the whole point of having a religion, as I keep saying, is because you want the protection of your religious group, and religious groups are the most powerful groups in the whole wide world, and they, there's so many of them, and they've been around for so long, and but they're not to be, dismissed lightly because some of them or one of them might just have divine protection. So and that's why, so many people pretend to be Christian. People like Jay and others. I mean, of course, they won't admit it, but, it gives them dignity. And people like Jen Shaw, it's like, yeah, you sort of get more dignity if you say you believe in God, even though that they don't really say it. It's not the Abrahamic God. It's just the God of nature. Some vague stuff like that. Not the God who gave laws to humanity, but the God who might be the universe. But it just sort of kind of elevates you to yeah, it makes you seem more spiritual than somebody who says, I'm an atheist and I deny the whole thing. And I think we can just sort of accommodate all these people and track them. And really the idea is to make people think more carefully about what their beliefs are, because obviously a lot of people are just unquestioningly following the religion of their ancestors or parents, because it's sort of like if I stop, if I reject the Hinduism of mum and dad, I might get disinherited, because there's obviously a lot of status being linked to just being inheritors of our parents' religions. But the thing is, I mean, as you pointed out, all the created religions, they change. The Mormons change, their once racist religion. They give up on their polygamy, But actually, if they're going to try and force us into vegetarianism, you actually need to say you're Muslim or Jewish to say, oh, but God says we could eat meat, because he prescribed kosher slaughter. And I suppose while there are many, many things that the government wants to censor, things have to get pretty bad before they start redacting, the Bible or the Quran. I mean, they're already sort of saying that, trigger warnings, in the Bible, I guess working up towards actually banning it if we don't watch out. There's no telling what they might do because they're mad and silly. Shall we do something about common sense, or shall we do one about the definition of heresy that the Christians were trying to agree with each other about?
Actually, I'm getting a little bit tired, Claire. I know we've been on for more than an hour, and I'm gonna go to lunch in half an hour.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you for your help and company.
Yes.
All right. Have a good lunch.
Okay, you too.
Okay. Bye.